So I think the fashion show was really important, kind of just like to let people know that these resources are here. That's a big part of with this and like other stuff we do with the transit, because a lot of people don't know it's there. But the people who use it get a lot of benefits from it because they may not have felt comfortable getting clothes to affirm their gender before, or they may not have been able to like have access to that. So I think just letting people know that this resource is here and that they can use it is like the main point of it, if that makes sense.
I mean, obviously there's the element of promoting the clothing transit, which I think is a very important and oftentimes underutilized resource here on campus, just because it's kind of tucked away in a building, which has its safety purposes. But I think students may not know about it, or even they think, oh, well, the clothing transit, so it's going to have like t-shirts and basic dresses, and we really wanted to showcase that if you look, if you try, if you come in and do some digging, you can find some really fun pieces and come up with outfits that are entirely based from the clothing transit. So that's kind of that element, but also, I mean, like I said, we've been trying to do this. It's kind of like 4 years in the making, and fashion is something that is very much a part of gender expression, gender identity, and all those things, and has a very strong tie into the queer community with the ballroom scene and its impacts on popular fashion, even if we're not aware of it. So I think highlighting kind of queer fashion and this like non-binary gender bending elements, obviously we saw a lot of our models kind of have more masc or more femme clothes in the first round and then completely switch in the second round to show that it doesn't matter necessarily what your gender identity is, but you can still express your gender however you want. Because we have several, I know specifically one of our workers, Alex, did the first round as a frat person essentially, and then the second round as like business lady with her pearls. And he's as far as I know, a cisgender identifying man, but he still is like, of course I'll do that, because it shows that clothes are what you make of it, and that you can really just have fun with whatever you want.
Specifically with the transit, we do accept donations. We have a lot right now, but if you're like ever wondering like if what you have is something that you can donate, you're more than welcome to come into the center and like ask. We also have a lot of other events like this, especially going to be coming up in April, which is our Pride Month. So we'll have a lot of opportunities for students to have more interaction with that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, it's important because there are going to be students who don't have access to gender-affirming clothes, whether that be through monetary reasons or lack of parental support, whatever it might be. Sometimes there are barriers to get that sort of care and support that we oftentimes might underestimate the importance of it, especially if you're someone who's always kind of identified with your assigned gender at birth. You may not even really think about how your clothes impact you or how that's a part of your expression. And so for students who might be transgender and non-binary, even just questioning their expression, they do need that support.
Yeah, so a lot of just I think in the LGBTQ community in general, clothing is huge for expression. But when it specifically comes to like gender expression, I think it's really important to like have those options, especially because like clothes are like a part of everyday life. Sometimes it's like the first thing people notice about you, and so that can mean a lot. And clothes can mean comfort to some people. They can mean art to some people, and so it's very like personal. That is like why it's so important, because it's kind of like clothes can be whatever you want them to be, and it can be who you are in a sense.